I am now here, and we are now here, and we are watching, and we are ready to go, and this is definitely not being filmed 15 seconds after the last one. Okay. Today's VBS lesson. Still talking about Joseph. That's still a thing. Great. The main point of today is that God is with you everywhere. Okay? From the rising of the sun to the setting of still the sun, and also the moon and everything else. He's there all the time. There was a Bible verse that I was going for and it didn't work, and we're just gonna pretend that didn't happen. Okay, moving on. Potiphar. You guys know Potiphar? So this story is fun. This one's great. We in storytelling at VBS. This is another one of the things we do not go super into detail on. We just don't. Because if you know what we're about to talk about, you know, you get it. Again, VBS is for preschool to 4th grade. If you do not want to say preschooler and explain this, you understand why it's not in VBS. Great. So Potiphar. We left off last week with Joseph being sold into slavery because he was 17 and a younger brother and absolutely obnoxious. Not great. Again, no selling brothers into slavery. I feel like we established that. Moving on. So he's in slavery now. That sucks. He was sold off to Potiphar as soon as he got to Egypt. And Potiphar was like one of Pharaoh's. He worked for Pharaoh in like a high position. I don't know. It wasn't great because slavery is not fun, to say the absolute least. But he was good at it. Joseph, he did his best. He was like, yeah, I got sold into slavery, but I guess I'm here now. So he did what he could. And actually he was good enough at it that Potiphar was like, hey, I like you. You're gonna run my house now. And you're also my assistant. And Joseph was like, okay, because he's 17 and he just kind of goes along with things. Now, at this point, with storytelling, we say Joseph got in trouble for something that he didn't even do. That's crazy. He didn't even do something. Have you ever gotten in trouble for something you didn't even do? Isn't it so annoying and obnoxious? Yeah, you want to know what that thing? We never tell the kids what that thing was. Okay, because we don't want to. Because again, preschool to 4th grade. Okay, but you guys are older. I'm gonna tell you guys what was going on. So Potiphar is Joseph's boss. Potiphar's wife is Joseph's boss's wife. Okay. Names. We understand names. Potiphar's wife does not have a name. I mean, she probably did at the time. It's Potiphar's wife. She wanted to biblically know Joseph. Sleep with him. She wanted to sleep with him. Okay. Great. We don't know why. It doesn't matter, really. She tried for days. Like, she was, like, hounding this dude. I'm like, chill. First of all, you have a husband. But, like, she was hounding this dude, okay? And Joseph was like, oh, no, I'm 17. First of all. Okay, he didn't actually say that, but, like, the general vibe is there, okay? Like, he's not into this. He's not having a good time. He doesn't want to do this. She does not care. She was going in. And, at one point, she, like, grabbed his coat and was like, Joseph, please. Okay, I don't know if she actually did that, but she grabbed his coat. And, Joseph ran, which, yeah, me too. That's fair. And when he ran, his coat fell off. So she was mad at him because he wouldn't sleep with her. She went around with coat and was like, yeah, he grabbed me and he was like, blah, 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 blah. But basically, she decided that Joseph raped her. Not great. Don't do that either. Life lessons with Joseph. Don't sell your little brother into slavery. Don't go around telling people that someone raped you if they didn't. Okay, like life lessons. Don't do these things. They are bad. So Joseph gets thrown in jail, which is fair. If someone's going around like, he raped me, you have to, okay, throw, like, due process. They didn't have due process back then. So Joseph's in jail. Joseph ended up being in jail for 11 years, which is a lot of years. That is many years. I am 18, so in order to have that span, I would have been thrown in jail at 7. So we've got that going for us. So he's in jail now. But the jailkeeper was like, "Oh, hey, you're a God guy, probably. You guys are God and stuff." None of that was English, but you get the gist, I hope. He was like, God's with you. That's what I'm trying to say. He saw Joseph and he's like, God's with you. You're in charge now. And he just kind of like left Joseph to his own devices because he was like, you can run it. It's not a big deal. A couple people in jail. One of them was Pharaoh's cupbearer. That's the dude who take the cup, and before giving it to Pharaoh, he'd be like, not dead. There you go. Because sometimes people would try to kill the pharaohs by poisoning their drinks. So cupbearer was the one who drank the wine to make sure it wasn't poison, and then they could go off and do whatever. The other one was a baker. I hope you know what a baker is. They bake. Cool. And they had weird dreams, and they asked Joseph what was going on. So I'm gonna read you guys the dreams. This is a thing that they suggest. Stop. My Bible app is yelling at me. The thing that we ask the kids to do is, what do you think the dreams mean? So let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, cupbearer. It was like, in my dream, there was a vine, and there were 3 branches, and as soon as it budded, the blossoms shot forth, and the clusters ripened into grapes, and Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, so I took the grapes, pressed them into Pharaoh's cups, gave the cup to Pharaoh. That's the first dream. Second dream, well, he heard the explanation of that dream and then went on to say his own dream. Actually, let's talk about that dream first, because that's how it is in the Bible. I think it makes more sense. So that's that dream, okay? And Joseph's like, oh, dude, that's great. Me personally, as Annie, not as Joseph, I have no idea what that means. You have grapes, you crushed them. I don't know, dude. Okay. But Joseph's like, oh, dude, sit down. You're good. 3 branches mean 3 days. So in 3 days, you're going to get your job back. Great. And then the cupbearer was like, yeah, that's cool. He's very excited about it. So then the baker was like, I had a dream. Personally. There were 3 cake baskets on my head. And in the upper market were all sorts of baked food for Pharaoh, but the birds were eating it out of the basket on my head. Joseph was like, oh, buddy. In 3 days. Oh, yeah. We did not tell the children, okay? In 3 days, Baker's gonna die. That's so sad. In the Bible, the 3 baskets are 3 days, okay? So in 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head from you and hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat your flesh from you. So that's awkward. I can imagine it was also awkward for the cupbearer because he just got word he's getting his job back. He's getting out of jail. He's having a great time. He wants to celebrate. Baker's over here and he's like, what does my dream mean? And Joseph's like, you're going to die a brutal death. And the cupbearer is just like, oh. And the baker's probably like, so now the baker is really hoping that Joseph's dream is, or Joseph's interpretation is not true. Cupbearer probably doesn't want the baker to die, but also wants his job back. So, like, maybe the interpretation's only half true? I don't. So that's special. We only tell the kids that the baker's gonna die. We do not tell them he's gonna be hanged from a tree and eaten by birds, which is probably for the best. So R.I.P. to the baker. That's unfortunate. The cupbearer did get his job back, so like R.I.P. to the baker, but the cupbearer got his job back. So shaky. He got his job back 3 days later, and he completely abandoned Joseph. Just totally forgot about him. Didn't tell anybody about him. Joseph's still in prison. That's unfortunate. So that's the story, folks. Joseph's in prison, baker's dead, and the cupbearer is living his best life. And that's it. That's the story. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Things We Don't Teach Children. And yeah, that's basically it. The main Bible point, of course, is God is with you everywhere. So even in prison, you imprisoned for false rape accusations. I don't know. That's that. That's at the cross. That's Joseph. That's everybody. And I will see you next week for more Joseph adventures.